Hey guys, taking a look at another scan tool today. This is the Kingbolen K7 Smart Scan Tool. Inside the box, you're going to find this nice, soft to touch but hard shell carrying case for the scan tool. Inside the case, you're going to have your actual scan tool here. Underneath that, you're going to have your Bluetooth dongle. So this scan tool does run off of Bluetooth, which is a really nice feature. Got your charging cable, USB-C on one end, USB-A on the other, and then your wall outlet charger here with a couple adapters depending on what part of the world you're in. Got your owner's manual plus your activation code underneath that. Taking a closer look at it, as you can see, it does have some rubberized grip all the way around the scan tool here, and that should protect it from drops and falls. Up top, you got your power button. On the bottom here is going to be your charging port with a dust cover. So you can see right there, that's going to be for USB-C. This is going to be your USB-A for debugging. Flip it over here on the back side, you can see this does have a 13 megapixel camera, which does support video as well. So this scan tool is going to be running off the Android 10 system. It does have a 7-inch screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720. Has the quad-core 1.8 gigahertz processor, 2 gigs of RAM. You have 32 gigs of storage space, and it has 5 gigahertz of Wi-Fi. So now let's check out some of the features of the Kingbolen K7. So when you first open up your scan tool, you will need to set it up. You will need to open an account with Kingbolen. So now let's take a look at some of the features of the Kingbolen K7. So when you first fire this up, you will need to set it up. You'll need to open an account with Kingbolen. It is free to do that. And then you will need to use the activation code that came with the owner's manual. So make sure you don't throw that away. It's pretty easy setting this up. If you've ever set up a phone or tablet, it's pretty self-explanatory. It takes you through all the steps, very simple. So looking up here at the upper left-hand corner, you can see we got our time, our Wi-Fi. Upper right-hand corner, you got your Bluetooth, and then also your battery percentage as well. So I'm gonna start out by going through some of this stuff, but first I'll go ahead and start out with the settings here, show you on some of that stuff. So you will need to kind of just set this up the way you want to. If you're a shop or owner, that kind of thing, you'll just need to go through some of this stuff, customer management, business information, and enter in all that information. You can see we do have screenshot mode here. If I turn that on, you can see there's a little icon that pops up. So if we want to take a screenshot of this screen here, you can go ahead and click that, and then that'll drop that down into your photo album here. So there's the picture we just took. So that's kind of a nice feature. We'll go ahead and select all. We'll go ahead and delete that. We don't need that in there. And then to go back, you can hit this back button here, or another thing you can do is swipe right. You can see that takes us back to the home screen here. So we'll go back into settings, take a look at the, this does have a screen recorder, so the screen floating window. So if you turn that on, so that's kind of neat. You can go ahead and press play on this, and this will start recording what you're doing on the screen here. So when you're moving it up and down, going to different areas of the scan tool, you can record that whole thing. So we'll go ahead and stop that, and then you can go ahead and name that if you wanted to. We'll just hit OK. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, both of those. You got your Wi-Fi settings, your languages, so if you want to change the language of this, and I think this supports right around 17 languages. You can go ahead and set up your time area where you're at, your units of measurement, and then your sleep time for the screen, all that kind of stuff. Firmware fix, so a bunch of stuff you'll just have to go through on that. So go ahead and go back to the home screen here. So back at the home screen here, we'll go ahead and click on the store, and this is going to be where you're getting a lot of your software updates. Now this scan tool does include 3 full free years of updates, which is a really nice feature. A lot of scan tool companies do not do that, but even after that 3 years, if you decide not to pay for the new updates, you can still use this scan tool without any issues. It'll just have the latest update you did on it whenever that was. But you'll find that all under here in the store. As for OBD2, I'm not going to get into that until we go ahead and hook up the dongle and start scanning a vehicle. So I'll skip that for now. Scan's going to be kind of the same thing, but I'll go ahead and click on that. So you can auto search your VIN here once you plug in the dongle, which is a really nice feature. If it can't auto search it, you can go ahead and manually pick what your vehicle is from this list below. You can see all the different kind of vehicles there is that this scan tool supports. There's a lot of vehicles on here that I've never even heard of. If you don't want to scan through or scroll through this whole list, you can go over here. You can just pick American, European, Asian vehicles, or Chinese vehicles as well. This upgrade is going to tell you if you have any upgrades. For the software, it looks like I do have a couple, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. We'll go back up here. You can see you can do a demo here. This will kind of show you how to use the scan tool as well. So if you want, you can look more into that. So the reset is going to be all the reset features packed into this scan tool. And I think there's 31 plus features you can choose from. So let me go ahead and click on that. So as you can see, there's a whole list of reset features on this. So first one's going to be air fuel ratio reset, ABS bleed. You got your adaptive front lighting. AdBlue, that's going to be for DEF systems for diesels. Your air suspension reset, airbag reset. You got your battery matching system, your brake reset. This is going to be your coolant bleed, DPF regen. So another thing for diesels, if you have a diesel and you need to regen the DPF system there, you can do that. You got your EGR adaptation, electronic throttle relearn. Got your gear learn, gearbox relearn. This is going to be your key or immobilizer reset, injector coding. This is going to be language. If you need to change the language on your vehicle, you can do it through there. Your knock sensor reset. This is going to be your odometer reset, oil maintenance light reset. You got your seat calibration if you need to calibrate the seats. This is going to be steering angle reset, so that's another big one. Same with this stop start reset. This vehicle that I'm in right now has the stop start feature on it. Sunroof, if you replace the sunroof, you can go ahead and calibrate the sunroof, reset that. TPMS, your tire position monitoring system, or tire pressure monitoring system. This transport is going to be transport mode, so if the vehicle needs to go into transport mode, you can do that with this. You got your tire reset, and then also your window calibration reset. So clicking down here on the repair info, this is how you're going to access your web browser. So you can see this does have Chrome on it. This will take you straight to Google. If you need to look up an issue with somebody's vehicle, you can Google it. You got YouTube, eBay, Amazon. It's pretty much just having the internet at your hands. You will need to be connected to Wi-Fi to do this though. Go back, you got your mail. You can set up Yahoo Mail, Google Mail. If you need to you know, send something over to a customer, you can do it through email. Calculator, that's kind of a nice feature if you need to use a calculator. Square point of sale, this is going to be for like shop owners. You can set up an account with these guys. This is for like if somebody needs to pay you or somebody needs to buy something from you, you can set up an account through that, and that'll help you get through a lot of that stuff. File manager, that's just going to be for the scan tool, just what's on the scan tool, some of the files and that kind of stuff. The OBD2 fault code library, if you need to look up a fault code, you're not sure what it is, you can type it in here. It'll give you some information on it. If not, it'll take you to Google to get you more info. The coverage list, that's just going to be the vehicles that the scan tool covers. Learning, if you need to learn more about certain vehicles, you can click on that. This is going to be videos. If you took any videos, it'll be in this area here. And then this is your user manual. So if you lose your user manual that came with it, you can just click on this, and this will just kind of take you through the owner's manual for this actual scan tool. So that's kind of nice to have on there, especially if you lose the original one. The update icon here, this is where you're going to find all your updates. Now when you do first turn the scan tool on, you're going to have a ton of updates. As you can see, I did upgrade everything. Since it is free for the first 3 years, you might as well update everything. But you can see all these different updates that I did. You can see everything set up to the latest version. But you can see I did just get these new updates here for Mitsubishi and GM. So what you can do, you can just pick, if you want to, say I just want to update the Mitsubishi one, I can hit update. And this will start downloading it. And it's actually pretty quick as well. And this just downloads it through Wi-Fi. So you can go ahead and let that do that. Let's go ahead and hit back. I'll go ahead and let that just download. So that's where you're going to find your updates. So the module icon here, this is if you want to add some aftermarket stuff. So they do sell, you know, a battery monitor that you can hook up into the scan tool, a scope, printer, video scope, and then tire pressure monitoring system tool as well. So the file icon, if you click on that, this is going to be kind of a history of what you've scanned. So if you need to go back and take a look, you can look at it through here. You can see there's nothing in there because I haven't scanned anything yet. But if you need to go back and look at a vehicle that you scanned previously, you can look that up in here. So now let's go ahead and put this scan tool to the test. I'm going to go ahead and hook up my Bluetooth dongle here. So I'm going to be testing this out on my 2023 Ford Explorer. So go ahead and locate your OBD2 port. Most of the time they're going to be right underneath the driver dash here. Find the OBD2 port, go ahead and plug this in. And if you notice, it does have a green light saying that is good. So now we'll go ahead and scan the vehicle here. One thing I don't like about this scan tool though, is it doesn't have any hooks or anything. I know on like some of the Autels, it has like a little kickstand where you can put it on the steering wheel. Just makes it a lot easier instead of having to hold it. But let's go ahead and click on scan here. We'll go ahead and do the auto search for the VIN. So this is going to run through its test, checking the VIN, trying to recognize it. And you can hear the dongle beeping as well. You can see Ford 2023 Explorer. Trying to get you guys to where there's not a glare on the screen here. Set the ignition switch to on. I already have the vehicle on because it's kind of hot out right now. So it's loading the vehicle data here. Okay, so now it brings up a bunch of different things here. You can do a system scan, health report, system selection, common functions, module programming, and then the vehicle information. So I'll click on the vehicle information. You can see this is a 2023 Explorer, and it shows the transmission, 10-speed transmission in here. This is a 4-wheel drive one. We'll go ahead and hit yes on there. Let's go ahead and get into this health report. So this is going to scan through all the control modules that are equipped on this vehicle. And with this being a 2023, it's probably going to have quite a bit of modules. I know like the Mercedes or BMW, those have a ton of modules that the scan tool has to scan through, so it may take a while. But as you can see, this isn't taking too long. We're almost done already. So as you can see, looks like we have one fault code that's going to be for the ABS system. But other than that, you can see the green check marks, and you can just see all of these different control modules that this Ford Explorer is equipped with. I mean, there is a ton. Instrument panel cluster module. There's our powertrain control module. You know, passenger door module. You can just see all the different modules that run this vehicle here, even one for the trailer mode. So let's take a look at this ABS code that's popping up. This vehicle only has 4,800 miles, so I'm surprised there's already a code in here. But as you can see, lost communication with instrument panel cluster. So that's probably just a generic code here. It's not throwing a check engine light or anything. That could be just an old stored code that was in here, you know, when a battery died or something. But what you can do is you can click on this, and this will take you straight to Google. You can see it already enters it for you, enters the code, so the U0155. And you can see it's lost communication with your instrument panel cluster. So you can kind of scroll through Google here. This will try to help you fix it. You can see how to fix the code. You can click on that. It shows you a few things you can try or look into. So that's a really nice feature as well on this. It automatically puts that information in for you and Googles it for you. So we'll go ahead and go back. And if you want to clear that, so let's go ahead and clear this. I'm going to go ahead and clear DTC, fault memory. So there you go. You can see that cleared the code. So we're still good. But let's say you want to go just into a module itself. So let's go down here to the Powertrain Control module. That's a big one. You click over there on the right red arrow. This will take you into just the Powertrain Control module. And you can see there's a module information. You can look at the latest strategy software that's in there. You can read fault codes just for that. If you want to just clear the fault code only for the PCM, you can do that through here. The read data stream, that's going to be our live data we can look at. You can do the actuation test and the special functions. So with this being a bi-directional scan tool, that's what's really nice, is you can go into these modules and turn things on if you want, or turn things off. So that's how you really diagnose a lot of these vehicle issues. OBD2 function there. So let's go ahead and let's check out some live data on this really quick. And as you can see, you do have an icon up here too, showing that the dongle is connected as well. So you can scroll through some of this stuff here. I mean, there's going to be probably a ton on here. Yeah, you can see all the different things on here. And we're only in the A category. So you got to kind of just go through this depending on what you're trying to diagnose, what the issue is. I mean, there is just a ton. Like I said, we're still in the A's. Okay, now we're in the C's. Camshaft position sensor, you can look at all that stuff. Like I said, just a ton of stuff. Cylinder 1 knock, look at all that stuff. And if you don't want to scroll through all this stuff, because I mean, you can see just how much stuff there is, go all the way to the bottom here. So you can see that takes us down to the wastegate turbo stuff. What you can also do is click over here on the magnifying glass, and you can just search. So say we want to look up the fuel trims. That's another big one people are always looking at. So you can type in fuel trims. So you can see it's kind of bringing it up there. Let's go ahead and go down here. So there you see you got your long term, your rear O2 fuel trims, and then your short term fuel trims as well. So if you want, you can just click on a few of these. Let's just do that, and then we'll hit OK. So there you go, you can see your fuel trims. If you want, you click on the graph. This will take you to the graph, I believe. Or maybe not. There it goes. So you can see your fuel trim down there on a graph. So we'll go ahead and go back. Like I said, you just kind of, depending on what you're trying to do with the scan tool or what you're trying to diagnose and the problem you're trying to fix, there's just so much on here. It would take me all day to go through some of this stuff to show you guys. So I'm just kind of giving you the gist of it. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go ahead and see what's under special functions here for the PCM. So you got your monitor profile correction relearn, relearn vehicle data, reset the keep alive memory, adaptive transmission adaptive tables, of course the anti-theft system programming. You got your power balance. Let's go ahead and check out a power balance on this. So for this, I'll probably need to, okay, I still got the engine running, so we're good. Let's go ahead and hit OK here. So as you can see, there's our power balance. You got your cylinder 1, looks like cylinder 2, 3, and 4. So let's see what it does when I give it some fuel here. It should spike some. So yeah, you can see there's our power balance test. And that all looks good. If you wanted to, you could also record this. So you can see now I'm recording it. So if you needed to send this to a customer or somebody else to help diagnose it, you can do that. Go ahead and click stop on here. So you can see that saved it successfully. We'll go back here. Let's see what else we can do here. So that's your transmission accelerated main control break-in. I'm not going to mess with that. This vehicle is still under warranty, so you can do some damage to vehicles as well with this scan tool, so because it does open up a lot of stuff for you. Let's go ahead and try this relative compression test. Let's do a compression test on this. So I will need to have the vehicle off, so let me turn this off, and let me just roll a window down here so it's not so hot in here. So what it says I need to do is go ahead and put my foot on the accelerator pedal here. Just turn the key on but engine off. Fully depress the accelerator pedal to the floor and hold it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. So now what we need to do is go ahead and start cranking the engine here. So I'm gonna have to put my foot on the brake because this has push button start. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my foot on the brake. I'll go ahead and try starting it first, and then I'll hit OK real fast here. So here we go. And it probably won't start because it's gonna do the compression test. So you can see right there, it's gonna count down. You can hear it trying to start. So there it goes, it stopped. 1 second here. Okay, so there is our relative compression test here. You can see cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all right at 0%, which is good. So it's all even. Average RPM is at 333 there. So there's that. Let me go ahead and start this again. Pull this window up. Let me go back here, and let's just see what else we can find in here. Let's try a different module though. Let's go to body control module. Let's try the driver door module. That's an easy one to show you guys a few things here. So kind of the same thing. You can do your live data. Let's see what they have for actuation test here. So you can do your window down and up. So if you click on that, so the window down here, let's go ahead and turn that on. So it should bring our window down here. So we'll go ahead and hit on. You can see that does bring the window down. And then since this does have automatic up and down windows, I think I got to go out. So the front window up output. So you can see that is on set to off right now. We'll go ahead and turn that on. It should roll up. There we go. So that's kind of some of the things you can do with this. So if you're trying to diagnose, you know, a window switch or something like that, you can get in here. If you're not sure if it's the motor or the window switch, you can get in here and do it with this. So let's back out of this. Let's go into, let's see what else we can do here. Let's check out the, like I said, there's just so many different. So it even has a rear gate trunk module for the back hatch here. Let's go into that, see what we can do. And let's just check out some live data on the rear hatch. See what we can find in here. So let's check out this drive motor current. Let's see what, if you need to check out the current for the drive motor, you can see right now it's set to 0. Let's go to graph here. So let's see what it does when I go ahead and open up the back hatch here. So you can see it shows the current. That's with the hatch open. Let me go ahead and close it. So if you need to check the current for the drive motor for the back hatch, you can do that on the live data there. So that's kind of a nice feature as well. So like I said, guys, there's a lot on here that you can go through and check. I'm not going to spend all day showing you guys this kind of stuff. Like I said, I just want to give you the gist of it. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and exit out of this. And what's cool about this too is it'll give you a little warning so you don't forget your Bluetooth dongle. So you can see right there, because I know a lot of mechanics will leave that Bluetooth dongle in a customer's car and they go to take off not even knowing it's gone. So that's kind of a nice feature. I kind of wish though that there was a little slot on here for you to slide the Bluetooth dongle in, but you do get that really nice case as well. So one thing I forgot to show you too on this scan, so let me go ahead and go through this again. We'll let this recognize the VIN. I just wanted to show you a report. So if you wanted to scan a customer's vehicle and you wanted to send them the report showing them what's wrong with it, you can do it through this way as well. Let this boot up here. Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the health report again, just to show that it scanned through all the modules. And as you can see, the ABS one, since we did clear that code, it's not bringing up any other codes there, so that was probably just a old stored code that didn't really mean much. Maybe back when it was still sitting on the dealer lot. Again, you can see it scanning through this pretty quickly. Okay, so if you wanted to, you can click on this report, and then you can see it's for pre-repair. You can put post-repair. So we'll do pre-repair. Got your VIN number, your mileage, all that, license plate number. If you want to put any notes in there, you can. So go ahead and next, and then you can put in your shop information. Hit next, and then you can see this gives you a little printout of what you found. So you can see we're all green check marks. But if I would have did it beforehand when there was that code, it would show a code here. and you can go ahead and put this into a PDF, or you can print it off. So once you get into a PDF here, you can see that everything is okay. It shows you all the modules that we scanned, and everything looks okay. Shows your vehicle information, and then of course the repair shop address, all that kind of stuff. And then you can click on here and you can share it through Bluetooth or email, which is a really nice feature as well. So the last thing I want to show you is this OBD function here. So this is going to be for like state emissions inspections. If you're in California, or say where I'm at, Colorado, where they still do emissions testing. What this is going to do is the IM readiness. This is going to check all the emission control systems. Some vehicles can have up to 11 of these monitors, but this just kind of scans through it and shows if there's any DTCs, and then the readiness is completed. So you can see there's 3 readinesses completed, 5 readinesses that are not completed, and then 3 that are not supported. Data stream supported 69. You got your ignition, which is spark. So you can see if you add these up together, that's going to be 11. So like I said, this is just kind of, if you go to get emissions, they're going to go ahead and scan your vehicle. Look at this. They want to make sure your ECU is communicating with all the emission stuff and everything's up to standard. So if you have some that are not communicating, they'll pretty much fail you on the emissions test. So now if you go back to file here, you can see if you need to take a look at what you previously scanned, you can see that's what we scanned. This was our 2023 Ford Explorer Timberline. So you can go back in there if you need to look at something again. So that's kind of a nice feature as well. All right, guys, so I'm going to try and get this video wrapped up. So I could spend a lot more time showing you some of the features. I mean, this thing is just packed with so many features on it, but I just don't have the time to do that. So my go-to scan tool before this one was this X-Tool D7. I've had this for over a year now. I love this thing. I've never had an issue with it. Both of these do have their pros and cons. What I don't like about the X-Tool is the charging port is a micro USB. That's just old school. Doesn't stay in there too well. And then of course, as you can see, this one is corded, and it's a big game changer, the Bluetooth dongle, because with the Bluetooth you can plug it in and you can take this scanner anywhere, you know, underneath the car. If you need to check the transmission fluid temperature, you can bring this down there with you, underneath the hood or whatever it may be. With a cable, you're only limited to how far you can go with this scan tool. The other thing as well is I like the Kingbolen case. It fits easily in there because you don't have to deal with the cords. For this X-Tool D7, you need to disconnect this whole cable and everything just to put this into the case if you need to store it or take it somewhere. And then you got to try and get this cord all shoved into there. It just it's kind of a pain to do, and then you got to unplug this OBD2 portion here and stick that in there. So that's another con about the X-Tool. So both of these scan tools are very similar. I know the X-Tool D7 did not come with ECU coding, whereas the Kingbolen does, but X-Tool just did put out a recent update to where you can start ECU coding with this one. As far as the ECU coding goes on both of these, it's very limited. Depends on the vehicle manufacturer and the model. I know like Volkswagen, Mercedes, those kinds of things, you can really get in there and do some ECU coding. But like say on my Fords, you can't really do much on those. So my final thoughts on the Kingbolen K7 Smart Scan Tool. I do highly recommend this scan tool, especially to DIYers or weekend warriors, but also to entry-level mechanics who are just kind of getting into the field. They want to spend a ton of money on say a Snap-on or something like that. Right now, this is going on Amazon for right around $350. I'll put a link in the description for it. But some of those Snap-on scan tools, you can spend right around $5,000. And this will do some of the same stuff as some of those higher end scan tools. And it's a lot more budget friendly. Will this replace my X-Tool D7? I don't know yet. The main reason I bought that X-Tool D7 was to program the transmission on my daughter's 2012 Ford Focus dual clutch system, and that worked flawlessly. This will do the same thing, and like I said, these are right around the same price point, the Kingbolen K7 and the X-Tool D7. But like I said, I do highly recommend this if you're in the market for a bi-directional scan tool that is budget friendly. So I'm hoping that this little review helps you out. If you guys have any questions on the scan tool, or you needed me to look something up on a vehicle with this to see if the scan tool supports it, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And I'm hoping that this little review helps you out. And if it does, why don't you hit that subscribe button, check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.